So what we have here, we got ourselves let me see, I'm filming with a Okas, let me see, Okaso, one of those Chinese made cameras. I mean, they are Chinese made now, but this is one of the cheaper end. Anyway, I got a buddy of mine. I was fixing doing some mobile mechanic at his place. He gave me a scooter, and you can see the reason why he gave me. These wheels are not supposed to be round. The wheel was invented by a man, but the wheel is not supposed to have hexagonal shapes. It's not supposed to be like this. A wheel is supposed to be smooth and round so that it functions correctly. So anyway, so the son, it's an amazing thing to be a kid. That's what he did, was skid. You lock the brake and they would go skidding. So you can see what they did. Did a pretty good job at it. So he gave me that scooter. This scooter, let me turn on this little phone. This action camera, always the screen always goes on. Yeah, so this thing looks like this. So I took it apart the other day. That's a cover where you stand on. That's a brake. It's weird the way the brakes are on this thing. It's amazing. That's just, the brake is this thing and then it just brakes. Unbelievable. Made in China. Unbelievable. That's a little wheel cover. I mean a mud guard or whatever they call it. So some of the hardware, I took it apart. Man, I was looking for that. I did a valve cover today and I was looking for that. I left it here. I was looking for those ones. I left them there. Some of the hardware, the bolts. So there's the scooter. This is a cheapo Chinese. They are made in China anyway. So I don't know. You can't even say Chinese anymore. China scooter. Let's call it that. A cheapo Chinese made scooter. Let me keep the little kickstand right there. So this one is a VIRO VR550E. I think that's what it is. That's some of the hardware there. That's a guard that goes at the bottom. That's another guard for something. I think the chain. I got all this hardware here. Hopefully I can be able to put it back. But anyway, I hope that's it's been only a couple of days. I should be able to put it back. The only problem with this Viro, I'm looking online. I can't find the rear tire assembly for it. There's a company called Scooter Monster or something similar that has one of these, but it's out of stock. They don't have this assembly. That's a whole assembly. It comes with a sprocket. There's a Razor scooter which has something similar to this. I spent a couple of hours looking at it yesterday. Too much time to be wasting on a free scooter. I should have been making money on that time. Maybe reading a book or finding how to trade on stocks and making that big money. But anyway, there's a Razor scooter that has something similar, but I'm not sure whether it will fit. The Razor doesn't have a brake. It doesn't have this. This disc, this drum brake thing looks like it's welded on the assembly. I don't know how the Chinese do it. I don't know how they do it. I mean, it don't make no sense at all. So this is welded. It looks like it's welded to that or glued to that, however it's done. The ones I see, I check the diameter, I check the width of whatever, I check the diameter of the sprocket. It's a free scooter. I'm just gonna shape this thing, make it round as I can, and then keep an eye out. Maybe if the assembly ever comes back in stock, I can get another one. So I got my thing right there. I got my I'm gonna use that. That's not ideal for rubber. I got a vise. I bought this vise from Amazon. Bezos. God bless Bezos. He's married right now. Bezos is a king. Everything you can get from Amazon. So I'm gonna just shape this thing as best as I can, make it as round as can be, and then maybe ride the scooter. This is only like it's a kid scooter, so the speed sucks. It's not the speed sucks, but it works. The scooter works. It turns on, and so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna fix it up. I can be riding it in the neighborhood. I can take it to me when I'm doing the Uber, because I still gotta do Uber. So I only got a few maybe 40 minutes to play around with this thing. I'm not gonna be able to get it up down packed, but I can make it a little bit better. I gotta go do the Uber. I gotta take the good folks out. People got dates to go to. People got some dates to go to. You never know. People got dates. Yes, sir. People do date. I myself don't date. But actually, I was checking on Facebook. I mean, I didn't know Facebook has a dating thing, and I was checking on them. They got some baddies out there now. I mean, they got some baddies out there now. You never know, brother, man. I might throw the hat in. I might shit, man. I ain't Guasimodo. I can do it. I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring too. I'm gonna, shit. Give me a cutie. Fine as hell, a teen. Nothing but a teen. I don't mess with nothing but you gotta be a teen. But a 10, I don't mean I mean a teen. I don't want you guys saying, oh, he's a pervert, he says a teen. I said a 10. I'm talking about nothing but a supermodel, minimum. Anyway, let me set myself up and quit running my mouth and get some work done. So I got my gloves. I got this. This is the wrong thing for this. This is a metal cutting wheel. That's completely wrong for that. That is not meant to cut. It's not meant to. This is a mad ghetto, yo. This is mad ghetto. This is a ghetto. This is like I'm taking. This is third one right here. Let's see what happens. I'm telling you people, man, it's straight up third world, man. I think I'm making it worse. I'm digging too deep. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of filing. I'm digging too deep into the damn thing, but I might have to file it. I'm gonna file it to make it round. So let me keep on let me douche the douche, keep on doing it more, and I'll see how it turns out. But I think I'm making it worse. But how worse can it be? It's already bad. Let's keep on going. So it looks like we're getting there. We're slowly by slowly getting smoother. Slowly by slowly we're getting there. I'm going to just smooth it out a little bit more. And then I've realized something. If I come on an angle like this, I can smooth it out. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to come with an angle like that, smooth it out. And then I'm going to now use a file to smooth the rest of it out. I got all this shit. Some of this shit is probably itchy stuff. Probably carbon fiber shit. And it ain't good for you. So let me set my camera up. It doesn't look too bad. I still gotta go back now and then kind of shape it. Still better than what we had before. But anyway, what I just did, I would not recommend. If your country has a GDP of more than 10,000, you should not be caught dead doing that. That's strictly third world right there, man. Whew. But anyway, look how it looks. Doesn't look too bad. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, right there. We're getting somewhere. So I got this Harbor Freight, and it's already leaking. Anyway, for $12, what do you expect? I can't knock on Harbor Freight though. I got a compressor that works. I got an airline. I got an old compressor, similar one, that went kaput, but it lasted me a few years, so it is what it is. I'm gonna try to fix that. I remember I fixed it. I thought I ran it with no oil. That's what I thought. I thought there was no oil in it. So I got in there, took off the gasket, the head. I put a new gasket in there. Still doesn't run. I think it's an electrical issue. But anyway, let's get back to Scooter Libby. So now I'm gonna file this. I'm gonna use a file, and I'm just gonna file it, try to get a smooth finish. Let's see whether it's gonna work. So this is not going to work. It's not rough enough. That is not going to work as a file. So I have a couple of these sponges with different degree of roughness. I'm gonna use those. I don't know what I did to my kneeling pad. I seem to lose something every day. I went today and I fixed somebody's vehicle, and I had my kneeling pad with me. I don't know why I put it. I don't know why they left it there, which I doubt it, because I checked. I always double check and triple check whenever I walk at a place. I double check. So I don't know why I put it. What's new? What's new? You know, like I say, what's new? That's how life is. You win some, you lose some. Life is one step forward, two steps back. One step forward, two steps back. So I don't know why I put my kneeling pad. I don't know why they left it, which I doubt, because I know I put it in the vehicle. But like I said, one step forward, two steps back. It just pisses me off, man. Getting old is not fun. Anyway, let me do this. Get out there, try to do some Uber. sad to say, I thought I was gonna fine tune it, be able to fine tune it with a file. I just have to use the electric. This rubber has got too much movement, so I just gotta smooth it out slowly, shape it with the what I've been doing with the electric. I thought I might get away with it. I might have to change one of the wheels. I'll see. So I'm gonna use the Dremel. Let's see how this thing does. I can vary the speed with this one. think we're getting slowly better. Let me take it out of there. Considering what we started with, that's not bad. I mean, we got a few, you know what? That's good enough for government work. It's good enough for government work. It's good enough for government work. That's better than what we started before. That's good enough for government work. It's good enough for government.
It's a very interesting follow-up question here for people debating South. Yeah, please describe the culture that you think we're defending. Is it Stephen Miller's culture? Is it Donald Trump's culture? I guess like a culture of just making a bunch of money off of all the dollars. Is that the culture? It's a culture of white people, right? That is when it airs about the culture, people who can take as much as they can possibly get based on how much power they have. It is a very common phrase used by people pushing neo-Nazi, white supremacist, eugenics, things like this. That is better. It's like it's not even like we used to do a lot of like it's making some proud points, things like that. But people think this is really charming. This is just people in charge. Not really this. I didn't even heard of that. To not use this language. It is what they there's no subtlety. It's not like a random Republican politician who's doing about White House staff. This is the Department of Homeland Security. The name Homeland Security is supposed to be about keeping America safe. It's not about defending your culture. A culture that, if anything, is about a place where anyone can become a citizen and where a multiracial, multi-ethnic country of 300 million people without it. We're going to see this now. I'm going to radio my colleague this weekend on the Sunday show. I gave a short clip, very conservative clip of a J.D. Vance speech he gave in Fremont over the Black Republic, where J.D. Vance actually says Declaration of Independence, the ideals of the Declaration of Independence are over-inclusive. And that should not be, America should not be thought of as a creedal nation based on an idea, based on a belief. So if you believe in the Declaration of Independence, what it says in there, that could be a billion foreign citizens trying to come into America just because they believe in the ideals of America. You can't have that. It's fucking wild, man. It's not, it's there. I know. I started to have it with me, but I could have a much longer conversation. Also, this is my friend said, he is most likely heir apparent to that group. So then Jay Sharkey got into market mentioned because the reality he was there. It's set up competition. Okay, but he did say most likely unfortunately he didn't do that. Hard to believe, but we saved what's potentially the most dangerous news of the week for last. Secretary Raymond Jr. announced that Health and Human Services Department will be pulling the plug on federal research into mRNA vaccines that are currently being developed for the flu, COVID, cancer, and other conditions. Kennedy claimed that mRNA vaccines aren't effective against upper respiratory infections, despite the fact that they saved millions of lives during a pandemic that was about an upper respiratory infection. Developers used to take credit for mRNA, but the signature science. Here's how he responded to the fact that Operation Warp Speed used mRNA vaccines that are the gold standard. Now the White House Secretary is pulling back all the funding for research. He's saying that the risks of benefits was at odds with the entire effort. What's going on? Research on what? Into mRNA vaccines. We're going to look at that. We're talking about it, and they're doing a very good job. And you know that is a pass. Operation Warp Speed was, whether you're Republican or Democrat, considered one of the most incredible things ever done in this country. But that was a long time ago, and we went to other things. So one of the many experts citing the alarm about this reversal, that includes Trump's first Surgeon General, was speaking about this as well. But one of the other experts is Dr. Michael Osterholm, the director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research at Policy, University of Minnesota, the author of the upcoming book, The Big One: How We Must Prepare for Future Deadly Pandemics. He spoke with Dan just before recording. Mike Osterholm, welcome to Positive America. Thanks. Appreciate being here. So earlier this week, Trump administration has $500 million in grants for the development of mRNA vaccines. You call this one of the most dangerous public health decisions in recent career. How will this set us back? Well, it actually sets us back in several ways. I think you're and that is that today we are really poised to become globally an influenza country. If we were to have really truly big on this 1918, it would exceed anything that's ever come. And there is a way to get there because there's vaccines that are made to deploy. Right now, globally, our capability of making flu vaccine is at about 2 billion doses in 15 to 18 months. And what I mean by doses, I'm talking about 2 vaccinations per person. So basically, 3/4 of the world would not have vaccine in the first 18 months, and some would never see it. That's just because we have this very outdated 1950s technology for making flu vaccine chicken egg. Well, along comes RNA. mRNA right now that we see is a perfect candidate for making flu vaccine. And some of the research shows supports that. If we have that vaccine available at the time of the next pandemic, we could probably make enough for the world in 12 months, which would fundamentally change the whole game on an influenza pandemic. That now is pretty much just gone out the window with this new change, as the U.S. government will not be basically supporting overall mRNA vaccine work. And more importantly, they continue to support a type of research that has been going on since the 1950s. Salk himself was involved with it. And it's really unfortunate that we don't see a lot of upside on this vaccine, but they're not confident in it. Yeah, I guess that's my question. The critics of mRNA vaccines say that they don't have mutations, that there's questions about them, and they want to go back to whole virus vaccines that we used to do. One, how do you respond to these questioning of the efficacy or safety of mRNA vaccines, and what are the downsides of going back to the old way of doing it? Well, first, the old way of doing it was no longer used because it didn't work all that well. Actually, believe it or not, a split cell vaccine, which we have now, where we break the virus up again, actually provides more contact with different parts of the virus that would otherwise be protected from the whole virus. It gives you a better immune response. So we abandoned the cell 4 years ago because it was not providing good results. Somehow there was something not believed that leadership, NIH is something completely different. We don't know how. Our center actually is responsible for tracking all influenza vaccine work in the world. And we have a website that's maintained, and actually today you can go on and find out exactly every product that's out there, where it's at in terms of its research, what phase it's in, what it's doing. So we have a U.S. expertise in flu vaccine evaluation. And I can tell you obviously government has a lot of money. Is it the private sector stepping in, or the pharmaceutical companies to develop these vaccines? What do they need government supposed to do? Well, this is where it gets more complicated. And I say that because number one is that there was about $500 million already put in by industry, and that is going to evaporate quickly because the handwriting's on the wall by investment sector, which the U.S. government is not going to support or do for. And so, if anything, we've lost a lot more than $500 million in terms of research dollars. The second thing is this is going to have a dampening effect on a number of biotech sites in the United States because they see this uncertainty. We've heard people talk about the business impact returns, it's about the uncertainty. Well, now there's even more uncertainty about what this administration will do, not based on science, but largely based on reality. What will they do? I think you're going to see a lot of companies, unlike people, actually getting out or moving to country outside the United States. And so you brought up influenza several times here. We are right now watching very carefully bird flu in this country. Obviously, fears it could be for humans. I assume this affects that, or obviously prepare for that as well. It does, and it's really important when we talk about influenza. We're talking about all viruses, whether it be bird flu, seasonal flu, whatever the zoonotic causes the pandemic. But we also remind people, as much as they don't want to hear this, and they surely don't find it necessarily moving because they don't believe it. But one of the concerns that we've had is that the kind of coronavirus that we had with COVID was not the worst of the worst virus. This particular virus actually is highly infectious. It actually killed about 1.5% of the population infected. If you look at SARS and MERS, two other coronaviruses, SARS hitting in 2003 in China, around the world somewhat brought control. MERS taking off in 2012, we saw it too. Those viruses killed between 20 and 35% of the people, but they weren't that infectious. And so we were able to contain them. It wasn't like dealing with wildfire. It wasn't like dealing with the wind. Well, in the last few months, we've now identified a new coronavirus in China that actually has the characteristics of transmission like COVID and has the ability to kill like SARS and MERS. So it's got the two worst things you want to see in one virus. That virus could be the cause of a pandemic tomorrow, which imagine instead of having 1.5% of the population dying, you're now talking about 20-25%. That is not just scary talk. That is real. Nobody wanted to believe the COVID pandemic was going to occur, but it did. And now I'm telling you, we need to be better prepared just for what could be a much worse kind of pandemic.
And is it that this technology, like, would you start developing a vaccine for that now, or it's just when that possibly became a pandemic, the capacity to quickly spin up a vaccine goes down because we are not supporting the development of these vaccines?
The answer is yes and yes. What I mean by that is that our goal with both influenza and coronavirus vaccines is to get ones that are more universal. They would cover a broad brush of them, and that's actually part of this work that we've been doing with the vaccine roadmap. And so wouldn't it be ideal if you had a vaccine that you could take, and 8 years later, suddenly a pandemic breaks out with a totally different virus, but you still have protection. So we're working on that very thing. In the meantime, if you can't get that, at least what you want to have is the capability of making an effective vaccine against the virus that emerge, and you can make it in such quantity quickly enough, you can actually have an impact around the world. We say often, and it sounds right, it's really critical, vaccines are important, but not that important until we become a vaccination. And so the key feature is going to be, can we get people to take it? Which was actually the third point I was going to make about David's comments. He again, created fear in the minds of many people by what he said. These vaccines aren't safe, the benefits do not outweigh the risks. You leave people with statements like that are just actually not true. Of course, that's going to diminish interest in the vaccines.
If there are people out there who are, we know the federal government of the United States is spreading anti-vaccine, conspiracy theories, anti-vaccine information, the people have questions, concerns, like where should they go to get good information about vaccines right now?
Well, this is one of the challenges. The federal government agencies used to be one of the most reliable sources. NIH and CDC, you can't trust them now. You can't. There's some very incredibly qualified people who still work there. There's not everybody's gone. But the problem is that the leadership in both cases are now ones of people who are inserting into whatever they put out ideologic information, not scientific information. And so that's a challenge. I think it's going to be places, and I surely don't want to sound self-serving, but our center, for example, has a major website presence where we have news every day. We keep this current every hour. And so there's places you can go get that. The information is linked, not just what's on our site, but wherever credible information is out there. So we kind of do the actual evaluation of should this information be linked. So there are places like that. There's centers at Brown, there's a center at Johns Hopkins, at our center, that are providing, I think, the information that people can count on and use.
Well, Dr. Russell Holm, I would say when I heard this announcement, I thought it was bad. But now after talking to you, I realize it's really, really bad, and I'm quite concerned. But thank you very much for this information. It's important for our listeners to know the consequences of these decisions coming out of HHS.
Thank you.
We're going to go to a quick break, but one reminder before we do that, if you need an outlet for all the ways you're feeling processing the news, highly recommend Hysteria's YouTube series, This Fucking Guy. Every month, Hysteria host Aaron Ryan and Alyssa Mastromonaco take a deep dive into the worst people in politics. This is the copy they told me to read. Uh-oh, haven't read it yet. Think of it like a true crime series, where the crime is always someone who sucks and has too much power and influence. That's awesome. Great copy. The show has covered Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Stephen Miller, my buddy, and lots more, but the new episode of This Fucking Guy is all about DHS Secretary, ICE agent cosplayer, and noted dog killer, Christy Nome. Wow, exciting. Also, check out this week's South Park. Great Christy Nome content, which we covered on our YouTube channel, the Pod Save America YouTube channel. So check it out. Subscribe to the Pod Save America YouTube channel, because, when people are searching for Sydney Sweeney discourse, we don't want to make a hell show come up. Pod Save America. That's the genius behind your Twitter fight. Pod Save America is brought to you by Rocket Money. A lot of people aren't aware of how much they spend each month. Do you know how many subscriptions you pay for? No. What about how much you use Rocket Money? You spend on takeout for delivery. I don't want to know that. It's probably more than you think. There's an app designed to help you manage your money better. Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps lower your bills, and grow more savings. Their dashboard lays out your total financial picture, including bill due dates and paydays, in a way that's easy to digest. You can automatically create custom budgets based on your past spending. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. The app automatically scans your bills to find opportunities to save, and then goes back to work to get you better deals. They even talk to customer service, you don't have to. Get alerts if your bills increase in price, if there's unusual activity in your accounts, if you're close to going over budget, and even when you're doing a good job. Rocket Money's 5 million members have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, with members saving up to $740 a year when you use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/crooked. Go today. That's rocketmoney.com/crooked. rocketmoney.com/crooked.
Businesses that are selling to the roof, like Untuckit, makes selling for shoppers behind simple with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And with Shop Pay, you can boost conversions up to 50%. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Untuckit uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/podcastfree. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/podcastfree to upgrade your selling today.
All right, a few hopefully lighter items before we go. Starting with a quick check-in on what those zany Cuomo brothers are up to. So there's Andrew, who's refusing to take no for an answer from the voters of New York in his quixotic mission to run for mayor as an independent. And we learned this week that he may get the Pope audition from another New Yorker who doesn't take no for an answer when he loses, Donald Trump.
The New York Times reported that Trump is considering getting more involved in the mayor's race, and that he and Cuomo spoke by phone after the primary. Cuomo, who's trying to sell himself as the hard-boiled vet who could take on Trump, also told business leaders this week that he actually doesn't want to fight with Trump, and he thinks they'll basically see eye to eye. So Dan, I'm no political expert here, is clearly identified as such. Only sounded like a real speech. You're an absolute fucking moron. Here's a sample.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess, and the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck, watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul with those ocean blue eyes that could resurrect the Fuhrer from his grave in Argentina.
Honestly, it gets better, worse, better, funnier. So the actor Cuomo posted an outraged reaction, reading nothing about Hamas. What? Or people burning Jews' cars? But Sweeney Jeans ad? Deserve time on floor of Congress? What happened to this party? I'm just speaking like this because the spellings are all over the place. A lot of typos. Fight for small business, not for small culture wars. He really unloaded a lot in one tweet. After being mocked by the entire internet, not often the entire internet comes together for something anymore like they did for this, called out by AOC herself, Cuomo replied with a sort of apology, not really, reading in part, quote, "You are correct. That was a deep fake, but it really does sound like you." Before doubling down on the Hamas thing, demanding that she send him a video of her demanding that Hamas surrender immediately. So that's it. We just all gotta, everyone send your videos of you calling on Hamas to surrender to Chris Cuomo by EOD. Thank you.
So, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I watched a 3-minute clip of Chris Cuomo from his show addressing controversy. Yes. Now, I watched it on the internet because I would not know how to find it.
You're a real
If you told me that the winning lottery numbers for tomorrow's Powerball would be broadcast on News Nation tonight, I would not be able to get that. I would not be able to get that. But I watched it, and I would say, I know Chris Cuomo a little bit because I used to do political comedy.
You used to spot
Everybody knew the gym. I was not a spotter for him. But I used to do CNN, like I was CNN political comedy for a few years. And like like America's centrist Jim Bro shtick is a lot. But I actually really thought he would just like genuinely apologize and just say, like, I fucked up. Like that is something I think in the past he might have done before he was fired from the job for advising his brother on his brother's scandal when he was at CNN. That's neither here nor there. But he did. The 3-minute clip is basically that. Is that tweet? He says, I messed up. It was a deep fake. It was AI. And how was like, but it sounded like her. And then he went on a tirade about how she has not demanded the Hamas surrender, which is the one thing Hamas has said they're waiting for.
I'm telling you, they are in the tunnels, and they are like, if enough people on social media, libs especially, call for us to surrender, we're coming out of the tunnels with our hands up. Like, war could be over.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Sydney Sweeney controversy, oh yes, we here at Pod Save America, we found ourselves in the middle of a right-wing discourse on it this week. My fault, I started it.
Yeah, it is your fault.
Please enjoy the following clip of Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk praising our merits.
My own thought on it is, having engaged in a back and forth at length with one of the Pod Save America guys last night, again, who remains a mystery to me. The only one I know is that Tommy guy. I don't know the other ones. And this guy seemed genuinely hurt that I didn't know who he was after arguing with him. Then even one of the other guys, no one knows. Maybe one of these days you'll solo a show, and then I'll learn your name. But until then, you're just one of the Pod Save America guys. But sorry, I don't know what you can do.
Testosterone group of complainers and liars, but please continue, Megyn. Where do you want to begin there? I don't know why I didn't ask him this way, but Tommy, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I asked Tommy.
What's the backstory?
He refuses to disclose.
Oh, does he? Yeah. And the way she said Tommy, it was very loving, and an otherwise pretty tough couple seconds for Megyn. It was like, it's a Tommy.
Yeah, it's very true. I would also say, am I outraged by the low testosterone thing? No. What I'm outraged by is that she does not know about the fucking hit podcast, Offline with Joe Favreau, a solo podcast with your goddamn name in it.
This isn't a big thing either, but we're using solo as a verb now? Soloing?
Yeah, I think that's a verb. I think when you are in music and podcasting, I think you're solo.
She's soloing. Okay, I give her that then. I will say, her bit to me about not knowing, like, I don't know if Megyn really ever told me, or I talked to her, or whatever, but the bit just seems really weird and forced to me. Like, she spent a good part of her day responding to me on Twitter, a person she has followed on Twitter for years and has replied to before. And the reason she knows my name is because it's right there in the Twitter account she was replying to for several hours.
I mean, that was a wild use of your time.
Well, you know what? I don't get into Twitter fights anymore that I don't think I can win. And this one was so fucking ridiculous because it started with Megyn Kelly lashing out at Beyonce in a Louis ad. And the people who told us for a couple weeks the left was losing their mind over Sydney Sweeney and jeans and how fucking crazy, she decided to then go crazy over Beyonce in a Levi's ad. Called it fake, called it fame fake, called her success fake. Beyonce, who is just like one of the most talented, successful people in the world. And it's like, you can not like her music.
So listening to the rest is history with Scaramucci. Scaramucci. So this thing is on. Make sure that don't get my fingers caught up in the chain. Two chains. Switch it off. So the scooter turns on. I'm gonna put a tape on this. Gotta tape that up. I guess that's an emergency in case the battery is getting hot. It burns the wire and then it shuts it off. So the chain is decent. So I put it back. It was a little bit strange putting it back. I still gotta tighten this up. I didn't tighten that up. I didn't tighten this little screw up. I can see that where my finger is. The brake is good. I had to mess around with these bolts for adjusting the brakes. Chain is decent. It's not too tight. You see the shaped tire. I put the washers. There were a couple of washers. I didn't even know where the washers are. Got my tools everywhere. I'm stepping on wires over here. Oh God, I'm just got the bed. Man, I need to sort myself out. Yeah, so it works. A little pichu-chit, Chinese pichu-chit, but it works. Somehow it works. I adjusted the chain. Like I said, the chain is, it does feel tight, but I don't know, it feels tight. But anyway, you know, I tighten up the wheel, put the guards back on. So now I just gotta put the fender right there and the thing, and then I'll test drive it. I think slightly better. I'm not sure about the spacing. I know there were two on this side. There was one washer on one side and there was two washers on this side. So I put two washers on the chain side. I think the chain seems pretty good. It's a bit tight. Maybe a bit too tight. But it's alright. You know what? Good enough for government work. It's a pichu-chit, Chinese pichu-chit. What the hell do I expect? It's a pichu-chit. It's a cheap Chinese pichu-chit. Let me put it together. I think the chain is okay. Chain is a bit tight. Cheap Chinese pichu-chit. So let's just put it together and see what we can douche. I guess it's a little brake adjustments. This is a little brake adjustment thingy-majiggies. So we'll see. You can douche. Put it back together. Take it out for a brief test drive. So cheap Chinese scooter is done. I wasted a lot of time yesterday playing around with this thing. I could have the amount of hours I wasted on this thing, I could have gone to downtown, made some money with the Uber. Yeah, so I did the brake doesn't work perfect. I gotta adjust the cable down here. There's a cable adjustment somewhere down here. I don't know whether you can see it. Let me turn it around. There's a cable adjustment down here. This cable has moved. There's a cable adjustment down there. I'm gonna have to adjust it. The cable has moved a little bit. I need to tighten it up. Yeah, so I shaped the wheel. It rides slightly better than it was riding. I mean, you can't compare. That's night and day. That's also a brake adjustment there, kind of to bring as you wear out the drum, you can bring it up closer. And also I had to tap the threads. Let me fix this camera. I had to tap the threads to stick these screws, because they are these cheap Chinese screws that this thing was already messed up. I mean, this is a cheapo Chinese. Those screws, they look like those screws down there. I even have a, yeah. I mean, El Cheapo $200 Chinese whatever Amazon piece of crap. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, I got this thing for free. I just a few hours playing around with it. There are shims there are little shims. There's a shim right there, and I think there are two shims on this side, on the inside. This is a cover to protect the chain. Chain rides in there, so I think I got that back correct. And the way this thing goes, this assembly, I didn't show it. It goes in this way, so you kind of have to put this thing together. This is the brake the way it is, the brake part. You stop smelling the scooter. And that's the adjustments for the chain, for the chain right there. You out of the way. That's the adjustment right there, and this is to tighten the axle. So there are two shims on that side, and I think that kind of aligns the chain, and I think the chain is aligned correctly. And the wheel is moving. The chain is aligned correctly, and I can adjust the chain by this, and I tighten that up. You can see the damage. You can see what the kids did. They were braking on this thing, and make sure this thing doesn't fall on the cat. You go chase mice. That's your job. He doesn't even chase mice. But anyway, so so that's the thing, yeah. So the shims, and yeah, so I was worried. I mean, this is a simple scooter. There's nothing to worry about putting it back. It's a piece of shit. I was just messing around with it. It's just one of those things, messing around with it. The VIRO, you know, somebody gave it to me for free. It's a piece of shit. I was testing it this a few minutes ago. It can barely carry an adult. Like I said, I'm just gonna give it away for free, but I'm gonna adjust this brake, at least adjust the cable down there. It can barely carry an adult, and then maybe bring this cable, maybe zip tie it up here so at least it's sitting flush like that. But anyway, he can barely carry an adult up a hill. Downhill I can kind of get some traction on it, but uphill there's nothing happening. So this, like I said, cheap Chinese piece of crap. I mean, it works. I give it to a kid. That's why you turn it on. It's a charging port right there. It shows always full. I don't know when the battery is ever dead on this damn thing. I've always seen it full, but the thing has no power. It's got no balls. I mean, right now it's gonna run. Right now it's gonna run. You can see right now it will run, but once you get on with a, but also it's meant for an 8. It is up 8 and above. I'm not sure it's supposed to be that noisy. I don't know whether, I don't know. Like I said, cheap Chinese piece of crap. I'm not sure. I don't know whether maybe there's some alignments could be off. Those shims I put in, maybe I'm supposed to put 2 shims on this side. I don't know what the hell. I spent too much time on this piece of shit, and on I could have made some real money yesterday. I could have met that hot little cutie Lebanese, smoking hot. Ooh, daddy got money. Daddy's a billionaire. She could have fallen in love with me, and yesterday I was playing around with this piece of shit. But anyway, that's life. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna give it to a kid. I got the cable to charge. I fixed the stand at least. I was able to tap. I tapped and I was able to tap it in there. And it's kind of weird. It's cheap Chinese shit, but the metal underneath this is tough. You know, the rest, some parts, like where the kickstand is, actually they do give you some substantial piece of metal. So you can see even this screw is off. I tapped it, but I didn't want to push it in too hard and then strip it. And yeah, so I had to drill and then tap. Anyway, that's the usual standard stuff. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna give it to a kid. I played around with it. Like I said, I shaved the tire, saved some money on that. There's no need. I couldn't even find the tire. There's a Scooter Monster. There's a website that sells parts for this. They don't have parts. They have a front wheel, but they don't have a rear wheel. And then also the reason why it doesn't actually the shape of the wheel also helps with the move easier, because you can see how flat that wheel is, and you can see how, you know, the other wheel, the rolling resistance is easier on this type of a wheel than what I did. And then even then it's not smooth, but hey, just playing around with it. That's life. That's what we do. Play around with stuff. I spent 4 or 5 hours on this piece of crap. It wasn't worth it. But anyway, that's life, man. You fix it, give it to a kid. I think I weigh 180, 170, 60, 170 pounds, and man, I need to lose like about 20 pounds. But anyway, a kid who weighs like 80 pounds, they can ride this thing. I mean, they're talking about somebody half my weight. They can ride this thing. So I'll give it to some kid. I fixed it. Man, I'm telling you, man, Mr. Fix It. Yeah, fix it. That's what I'm talking about. Right there, man. MacGyver, man. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, cheerio, little video. Get the YouTube all excited. You know how that goes. Yeah, I'm going to adjust the brake. Maybe zip tie these little wires up here. This cable is hanging. I don't like the way this cable is hanging. And then give it to a kid. And yeah, kid can play around with it. Tear it up. Toss it in the trash. It is what it is. Cheerio. God bless. Yeah, catch you on the other side. All right, later. So I just noticed I cracked the screen on my shit. How did that happen? I cracked the screen on my little piece of shit GoPro. Anyway, so we're at the Walmart parking lot. and we're gonna test out the China scooter. This is the one I fixed the wheel. I couldn't find a cleaner. I just look somewhere small I can test it out. So we are at Walmart right now. Yeah, so we're gonna test out the China scooter. Let's see whether it works or not. So as you saw, the brakes don't work. I gotta adjust it. I gotta adjust the brake. I was playing around with this thing. I couldn't get it to work. Yeah, so like you can see from the China scooter, it's meant for kids. With my fat ass on 170 pounds, it doesn't go anywhere. But for a kid, it's okay. But it rides all right. I mean, there's a little incline up over here. It has a hard time climbing. But once I kick it, it rides fine. So somebody weighing maybe 100 pounds, you know, is probably gonna do a better job than. Let me adjust this camera because now this freaking man, he's like, yeah. So it's gonna do slightly better. So I'm gonna do one more round and then call it a day. So like I was saying, this is only meant for kids. It doesn't, person of my weight, it doesn't do any good. It's only meant for kids. And but anyway, we fixed it. That's rides all right. The wheel is slightly better, not too bad. As you can see, it's so like this part needs to be smoothened out more, but man, I wasted too much time on this piece of shit. Yeah, the brakes need to be adjusted. I'm gonna adjust the brakes. I gotta adjust the brakes, and the brakes don't work. The cable is too loose, so that needs to be adjusted. I need to let me turn it off. So I need to adjust that cable right there. I need to pull this cable more. I need to bring that more in, pull more of that out, and that should take care of the brakes. The chain is, so far the chain feels good. Come on, camera. The chain feels all right, so kind of tight, but anyway, yeah. So that's a wheel. Another repair done. Chinese piece of shit scooter. This, I had to tap this to get that thing fitting correctly. For free, ain't too bad. Anyway, that's another repair done. So out here at Walmart, doing the douche. That's Walmart for you right there. I prefer Walmart over Target. I'll take Walmart over Target all day long. I could care less about Target. Target is just a Walmart that pretends to be fancy, and they got more cashiers. That's about it. So anyway, cheerio. Make another video for the YouTube. Catch you guys later. All right, man. Be safe.